The January 15, 1966 coup d'etat in Nigeria came on the heels of political wranglings, corruption, incompetence on the part of the ruling elite, accusations and counter-accusations of electoral fraud, and near descent of the country into anarchy. But why did the coup fail, and what happened afterwards? Stay tuned, let's get into the gist. Hello everyone, welcome to Hisple Media. If you are new here, which I know you are, please subscribe to this channel, like this video if you have any value from it. It will go a long way to help me grow this channel. Thank you. The officers were still politically inexperienced and had yet to grasp the act of coup planning and execution when they struck first in January 1966 with a motley collection of junior officers. This lack of experience helps to explain why Major Chukwuma Kaduna Nzeogwu and others who orchestrated the coup failed to seize power. Instead, Nigeria's first military dictator was Major General Johnson Aguiyi Ironsi, who was the army's commander-in-chief. The deployment of soldiers to quell unrest, such as the Thief People riot in the lower northern region, and calls for the military to supervise the 1964 elections were two distant causes of the coup. The beginnings of what became known as the federal character principle, which sought to give each area some parity of representation, gave military personnel a sense of being sectional representatives, whereas the later involvement gave the soldiers a feeling of political efficacy. Many Northerners saw the January 1966 coup as an attempt by the Igbo people of the East to take control of the country. 6 months later, a successful counter-coup led by Northern soldiers demonstrated the extent to which soldiers had morphed into uniformed politicians. However, the immediate motivation for the first coup was widespread dissatisfaction with corruption and self-serving officials, as well as their inability to maintain law and order and ensure the safety of people and property. Nzeogwu and his associates were acclaimed as national heroes during the early phases of the coup. The coup's pattern of assassinations, however, gave it a partisan appearance. The Prime Minister, a Northerner, the Northern Region's Premier, and the highest-ranking Northern Army soldiers were all assassinated. Only one Igbo officer was executed. The Premier of the Western Region, who was close to the NPC, was also killed. General Aguiyi Ironsi, an Igbo, was chosen as the country's leader. His policies and actions did little to allay the fears of Igbo domination. He failed to prosecute the coup plotters as Northern elites requested, and instead elevated Igbos to high-ranking government positions. Ironsi issued Decree No. 34 of the 1966, which abolished the federal system of government and replaced it with a unitary system. Despite widespread opposition, he claimed that the military could only manage in this manner. Given the already tense situation, this action only served to exacerbate northern worries. Because the north is less developed than the south, a unitary system might easily result in southerners taking control of everything, as one northern representative put it. The counter-coup of July 1966 took place at a time when northern opposition to unitarism was at its peak. The status quo of northern domination was restored after the death of most top-ranking Igbo commanders, including Aguiyi Ironsi. After the coup, Lieutenant Colonel later General Yakubu Gowon, a Christian from the Middle Belt, was appointed as president. His first move was to restore the federal structure with the 4 regions and their respective responsibilities. The federal government's relationship with the Eastern region, which is overseen by military governor Colonel Chukwuma Kaduna Nzeogwu, became difficult. In addition to the elimination of many Igbo officers during the July coup, a massive pogrom against Igbos occurred in the northern region. Colonel Gowon called an emergency constitutional conference in September to discuss the country's political prospects. With the exception of those from the Midwest, the majority of regional delegates to the conference advocated for a confederal system to replace the federal system. The Eastern region's representatives insisted that any region wishing to separate from the federation be allowed to do so. Increased killings of Igbos in the north, as well as rising tensions between federal government and the Eastern region, brought the summit to a premature close. In January 1967, a conference of military commanders in Aburi, Ghana, attempted to overcome the differences by recommending the formation of a base confederation of regions. The Aburi Agreement, however, became a cause of dispute. In anticipation of Eastern secession, Gowon moved quickly to weaken the support base of the region by decreeing the creation of 12 new states to replace the 4 regions. 6 of these states had minority communities that had been clamoring for statehood since the 1950s. Given the prospect of having their own state if the secession campaign was rejected, the Eastern minorities would not actively support the majority Igbos. Gowon was correct in this assessment. Many of the federal troops that participated in the civil conflict known as Biafra War to reunite Nigeria's eastern region were from the minority tribes. The war lasted for about 30 months and ended in January 1970. The post-war Gowon government issued a 9-point transition program that was to culminate in the handing over of power to a civilian government on October 1, 1976. The agenda of the transition included the reorganization of the armed forces, the completion of the establishment of the 12 states announced in 1967, a census, a new constitution, and elections. Gowon initiated several nation-building policies, the most notable of which was the National Youth Service Corps (NYSC), a community service institution that required 1 year of service by each Nigerian immediately after graduation from university or other institution of higher learning. Each member of the corps had to serve in a state other than his or her home state. Millions of graduates have served in this program since inception. Why do you think the coup failed? Let me know your thoughts in comment section. Please click the video displayed here for more information on the history of Nigeria from the 5th to the 19th century. If you receive any value from this video, please like it and share with friends and family on social media. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and enable notification so you don't miss any of our future uploads. Thank you very much for watching. See you in the next video. Peace.